Spoiler warning. This video will cover some of chapters 18 and 19, and mainly chapters 30 to 32. So, today, I'm going to talk about how Aza Chobei lost his humanity. First off, I'll give a brief overview of how we got to that point first. So, for those who don't know, a group of criminals was sent to a mysterious island, each escorted by a member of the Yamada Asemon. They are essentially there to watch over or execute the criminals if they tried anything. Their goal on the island is to find the Elixer of Life and then bring it back to the Shogun alongside their assigned escort. However, Aza Chobei's escort is actually his brother Aza Toma, who had infiltrated the Yamada Asemon beforehand. Now we can cut to the point in the story where the brothers have encountered two mysterious beings being rather intimate with each other. After noticing them, one of the women transforms into a man and says he'll kill them. That man is actually one of the Tensen, the supreme beings of the island. When we cut back to the brothers, we find them being brutally beaten and then dropped down into a pit of bloomed humans. Toma sees Chobe unconscious with vines growing all around him and attempts to rip them off. Later on, we learn that the Tensen who defeated the brothers is named Jufa. During a meeting between the Tensen, Jufa confirms that the Aza brothers were dealt with and thrown into a blooming pit that should be too deep for them to climb out of. However, the acting leader of the Tensen warns not to underestimate the human who arrived on the island, as he found a Monshin Gate deity's corpse in the forest. Being able to kill even one of the Monshin is out of the ordinary. Suppose one of them were to get out. Nothing is more fearsome than a wounded beast. As the leader says that, we see Chobe being an absolute beast, carrying Toma on his back with a sword in his mouth. This dude is an absolute monster. Once they're out, Chobe states that he'll kill the bastards no matter what Toma suggests. He's already figured out that the weak points are their lower half, noticing that they prioritize regenerating the lower half first. The brothers are then suddenly approached by a mysterious scout of the Tensen. Other scouts have been sent to the locations of the other colonels as well. These scouts are called Doshi, followers of Lord Tensen, who learn from them while Soshin are incomplete beings lacking in thought. This Doshi kindly asks the brothers to return to the pit, but Chobe attacks it instead. The Doshi punches Chobe, but Chobe takes the hit and then grabs its arm before ripping it off. The Doshi is surprised by this and thinks Chobe is more than human, perhaps even a user of Tao. On the other hand, Chobe realizes they have connections with the Tensen, which means he can beat some information out of them. The Doshi regenerates its hand before calling some Soshin to fight for it. Chobe orders Toma to take them out while he fights the Doshi. As Chobe attacks the Doshi, he analyzes his body and movements. Chobe is powerful, but fatigued and his lack of Tao means his attacks can't do much to the Doshi. With his disordered Tao messing with his awareness, Chobe is left open for an attack from the Doshi, who rips his throat out. Toma can only watch in panic as his beloved brother falls to the ground, dead.
Teiko?
Chobe's eyes suddenly open as Toma rushes towards him, slashing through the Soshin. Just before the Doshi can grab Chobe to toss him back into the pit, Chobe wakes up with his neck fully healed, though there are some strange vine markings around the healed area as well. He immediately strikes the Doshi in the face, partially destroying it. When the Doshi realizes that Chobe has suddenly regenerated, it wonders if Chobe was infected when he was down in the pit. The Doshi tries to remain calm, but then Chobe suddenly asks about a weird energy he can sense from it. Seeing that the Doshi isn't stumbling over its words anymore, or even responding, Chobe figures that the energy must be the source of their power, and the key to killing them. Recognizing how fast Chobe's Tao has risen in such a short period of time, the Doshi realizes Chobe could even pose a threat to Lord Tensen, and decides he must be killed here now. The Doshi manages to break both of his hands off, only for Chobe to instantly regenerate them as his Tao continues to grow at a rapid pace. The Doshi questions what the vines did to Chobe in the pit, and if he's become something more than human. While Chobe doesn't know what's going on with his body, he finds his upgrade to be rather useful. The Doshi noted that he doesn't seem worried about his transforming body, and questions if he doesn't fear the loss of his humanity. Chobe says nah, and it's only because he doesn't believe anything in the world is set in stone, besides one thing. Chobe remembers being mistreated by their bandit comrades when they were younger, because of their fancy upbringing. One of the bandits think the brothers are looking down on them and suggest to pretty up their faces. So, Chobe stabs his right eye with a knife, surprising all the bandits, but it's enough to show that he's not as classy as they think he is. Going back to the question, Chobe says a monster wouldn't get it. Nobody would. As we see Toma fighting in the background, before Chobe lunges towards the Doshi again. This time, Chobe begins to beat on the Doshi, realizing that its weak point is the navel. The Doshi sees Chobe's Tao is still growing and launches another blast of Tao at Chobe. However, Chobe manages to see it and manages to dodge. You can also see that the doshi is covered in Tao as well. Afraid, the doshi calls for the Soshin to back it up. However, Toma has already dealt with them all. Chobe tells the doshi to show him the Tao Blast move again, yet Chobe crushes its hand once the energy is gathered up. Chobe attempts to gather Tao up the same way, theorizing that the only way he can hurt Lord Tensen is with Tao. Once he gathers up the Tao for the first time, he delivers a punishing blow to the down doshi. The damage confirms to Chobe that he can kill it. He can now see its Tao before delivering the finishing blow. However, Chobe can tell the monster is still alive because of its Tao, and tries to ask it questions. Meanwhile, Toma notices that the markings on Chobe's neck are starting to spread. And that's how Chobe began to lose his humanity. This man did not care what was happening to his body. He was even alright with it, and quickly learned how to use Tao. Needless to say, his potential with Flower Tao is pretty freaking insane. Manga readers already know. I might make a video covering that or one of his later moments. Anyways, I appreciate whoever made it this far into the video. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't seen it yet, then check out this video here to see how Gabimaru actually sacrifices humanity to gain the same powers as Chobe.